Welcome to a new What if Naruto was an Uchiha. And this Minato will be a full Uchiha, while Kushina is still an Uzumaki. And not Naruto, but Minato won't be related to Fugaku. But he will be related to Shisui, in fact. So, let's get back in the story. Naruto's attack. Naruto just got born, and the masked man takes Naruto, telling the fourth Hokage to step away from the Nine Tails in Cherokee, or he'll kill his newborn son, which he throws up baby Naruto and is about to slice Naruto. But Minato catches Naruto and teleports away at home, placing Naruto in the crib, and the masked man takes Kushina. When Minato arrives, he sees Kushina about to die to the Nine Tails, which he teleports to Kushina and teleports her back to the house, putting Kushina right beside a baby Naruto and telling Kushina that he will be back. Minato puts on his Hokage cloak and steps out. He teleports to the great stone face is about to take it down the Nine Tails until he senses a presence right behind him. He slices at the person's head just for his kunai to phase right through his head and tries to get Kami away. Which Minato uses Flying Rising and disappears inside of a field. Minato sees that this person is a huge threat and decides to activate his 3 Tomoe Sharingan and says that he will protect everybody that he loves. The masked man says that you won't be able to protect everybody you love since you're too arrogant to understand anything. Which Minato doesn't understand, so he decides to rush at the masked man, and the masked man rushing back at him. Minato has a kunai in his hand and tries to stab the masked man in the head, which he phases through and gets trapped in the masked man's chains. Minato uses Flying Rising to get out of there, and he finally understands the jutsu. So he rushes at the masked man while the masked man does the same, throwing a kunai, phasing through the masked man, and creating a Rasengan. Before the masked man could touch Minato would disappear, saying Fly Rising level 2, then saying Rasengan, slamming it on the masked man's back and creating a contract on his back, separating the Nine Tails from the masked man's control. So yeah, the masked man says this isn't over and decides to warp away. Minato teleports back to the Great Stone Faces and seeing a Biju bomb being formed and is about to get shot at Hiruzen and kill him. When Minato sees this, he uses Flying Rising, teleports the Biju bomb away, and teleports back, but doing some hand signs, saying some jutsu, summoning Yamabuta, and telling Yamabuta to hold down the Nine Tails for him. Yamabuta obliges, and Minato sits on the Hokage stone faces, gathering nature energy. A minute later, he's in Sage mode, perfected Sage mode. Minato decides and goes to Hiruzen, asking who should be the Nine Tails jailer. Hiruzen says to seal it back inside of Kushina, which Minato teleports to Kushina, and Naruto gets both of them and is about to seal the Nine Tails within Kushina until he feels her pulse gone. When he feels this, he has tears falling in his eyes and activates his Mangekyo. Awakens his Mangekyo since he never had it. So yeah. Then he tells Hiruzen that Kushina is dead. So Hiruzen just says that you need to either seal inside of your son, which Minato knows that there's nobody else to do it, so he decides to seal half of it inside of him and the other half inside of his son. Before Minato could read the hand signs, Hiruzen says that he would do it since he's already too old and you have a new life ahead of him, which Minato hesitantly obliges to, and he instills the 50% of the Nine Tails within Minato, while the other half goes into Naruto. We do a time skip 2 days later. They are all gathering around and sad for the Hokage's funeral and Kushina's funeral. Everybody is crying. Everybody that is close to Minato is crying. And Jiraiya Tsunade is there. Even Orochimaru, but he's in the shadows. But Orochimaru isn't crying. He feels sad, but he isn't crying. This is when Tsunade starts to leave the village from seeing the third Hokage die. So yeah, we do a time skip. 4 years later, we go to a 4-year-old Naruto in his backyard training with his father. Minato is teaching Naruto taijutsu and kenjutsus, which he copied off of Kushina. So he has Kushina's kenjutsu while he has his own taijutsu. And Naruto is learning how to do Minato's taijutsu while he's learning how to do Kushina's kenjutsu, which he can't copy for some reason, until Minato gets a bright idea and tells Naruto that he will finally tell him about his mother, which Naruto gets happy about, so he sits down, saying, "What about her?" Minato just says that it's going to take too long to explain, so he'll just show him. Naruto asks what does he mean until he sees the Sharingan in his father's eye and gets placed under the Genjutsu, seeing the entire Nine Tails attacked and seeing his mother die. When Naruto sees this, he unlocks his one Tomoe Sharingan and starts crying. Minato comforts him and says that they'll be working on his Sharingan, but today today will be the day to work on your Sharingan, while tomorrow will be the day to copy our taijutsu and taijutsu and kenjutsu, which Naruto obliges by. Naruto starts working on his Sharingan, which he doesn't. He only has the one Tomoe right now, but he's a third of a way to getting the two Tomoe Sharingan in just 1 day. So yeah, Naruto starts working on his Sharingan. The next day passes, and Naruto is copying Minato's taijutsu while he's copying his mother's kenjutsu. And the day ends. Well, it's 12 o'clock actually, like half of the day. So Minato says that it's time for Naruto to go to the Uchihas, which Naruto obliges by and goes to the Uchiha compound, going to see his cousin Shisui. And no, Shisui and Itachi isn't related. So yeah, they're his best friends. So he goes to his cousin Shisui's house, which Shisui always let Naruto in since it's his younger cousin, and they start talking. Naruto just tells him that he knows about the Naruto's attack and everything, and he got his one Tomoe Sharingan, which Shisui is happy that he has the Sharingan, but is saddened about getting reminded about the Naruto's attack. And he decides to train Naruto. Naruto asks what he's going to be training on, and Shisui just says that he's going to be learning a technique called the body flicker. And after that, he's going to learn the fire style fireball jutsu. And when you master those two jutsus, then you will work on the Uchiha style Halo dance, which Naruto is happy about. So he goes outside and starts working on the body flicker first. And 2 hours passes, and Naruto got the body flicker down, but nowhere near Shisui's level of body flicker. But he got it down. So yeah, he starts working on the fire style Great Fireball Jutsu, which he copies with his Sharingan, which doesn't take long. So Shisui tells him that he needs to put a fire element inside of his sword, which Naruto finds difficult, but he can do it. Like, he finds it difficult, but he says that not lightning, but fire isn't his main affinity, and asks if he could just change it to lightning, which Shisu is interested about finding out if the Halo Dance works with lightning, so he says yes. So Naruto puts lightning chakra in his sword and starts slashing the air, which creates Halo Dance, like the same Halo Dance as Shisui, but instead of it being fire is lightning. So he's excited about this. And yeah, he's excited. So Shisui takes Naruto to Itachi's and Fugaku's house. And when Naruto gets there, Shisui knocks on the door. And Itachi answers, seeing Shisui and a 4-year-old Naruto. Itachi greets Shisui and asks who the kid is, and not Naruto. Shisui says that this is the 4th Hokage's son and his cousin. Itachi's surprised and lets Naruto in. So yeah. And yes, I think, his cousin. I'm gonna make Kagami is Shisui's dad, and I'm gonna make Kagami Minato's brother. So they're making Shisui and Naruto brothers. So yeah, back to the story. Since Minato's in Uchiha, they won't be planning a coup since they're not out of the village and being mistreated. So yeah, back to the story. Naruto just arrived at Fugaku's house and greets Itachi while going inside. He sees Mikoto, which Mikoto happily greets Naruto and Fugaku too, until he sees someone. This is obviously Sasuke. And yes, no, Suki, because I read somebody's comment on somebody on another video. They just said name Sasuke Suki, which remind me of the King of Weebs since I watched him. So I'm just gonna name Sasuke Suki. So they see Naruto sees Suki. Naruto waves at her like awkwardly, and she just waves back. Then Naruto says that he's gonna be going outside to train. Naruto goes out in the woods training on his Sharingan and his Uchiha Halo Dance. And while he's doing this, Kakashi is secretly watching him because Minato gave orders to protect Naruto since other villages want to either capture Naruto or kill him. Every village wants to capture him except the Hidden Rock village, which is Oniki's village. They want to kill Naruto. So Kakashi is watching Naruto. Kakashi sees that Naruto has a high affinity for lightning and decides to go down there. Kakashi asks if he wants to become a stronger lightning user, which startles Naruto since he didn't sense Kakashi at all. So, and then Naruto just says yes, seeing how he didn't sense Kakashi, and Kakashi is a strong ninja. So he obliges. Kakashi starts training Naruto in lightning style, which Naruto is happy about, seeing how somebody could finally teach him in lightning style. So yeah, we do a time skip of 5 hours later. Naruto finally got he could do the Chidori, but nowhere near Kakashi's size. So yeah, he could do the Chidori, but he could only use it 3 times a day. So yeah, that's it. He can use the Chidori 3 times a day, and he's closer to using his 2 Tomori Sharingan, but he still has the 1 Tomori right now. So yeah, we do a Naruto's still 4, so we gonna delay Shisui's death. We gonna do a time skip. 4 years later, Naruto is 8, And Minato is still the Hokage, and Naruto is in the academy. But Naruto just usually sends Shadow Clone, seeing how he just wants to train. But on this particular day, Naruto finally just got his Tutomo Sharingan from training with Shisui and decides to leave. When Naruto leaves, he goes back to his house and he goes to the academy, displaying his clone and seeing and getting all the information about it. We go back to Shisui's perspective. Shisui is walking home until he gets jumped by 20 Anbu members. Shisui, knowing that this isn't the Hokage's Anbu and this is Danzo's Anbu, decides to take a fighting stance and starts getting. Well, he's able to take all of them out, but he's heavily injured and weakened. And then Danzo comes, snatching one of his eyes, and Shisui he doesn't snatch one of them with one of his eyes. He's about to snatch one of his eyes, but Shisui uses every single bit of chakra he has left and body flickers out of there. Shisui, knowing how Danzo will probably just keep coming after him just to get his eyes, decides to put both of his eyes inside of a jar. No, he goes to the waterfall and Itachi following him. Itachi asks what is he doing, and Shisui tells him about how Danzo just almost killed him just to get his eyes, which Itachi is surprised about and everything else like that. And Shisui just says that as his dying wish, when Naruto figures out the truth about him and when he unlocks his Mangekyo, implant my eyes inside of his, giving him the eternal. Which Shisui puts both of his eyes inside of a jar and give them to Itachi, telling Itachi to keep these eyes safe. Well, Naruto is away to get his Mangekyo, and then he falls down to his death, which Itachi tries to grab him, but he isn't close enough. So yes, I know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I honestly did not want to let Shisui die because Shisui is honestly my favorite character in Naruto. But we need development and everything else. We need Naruto to get his Mangekyo. So yeah, back to Naruto. He feels a cold shiver goes down his spine. He doesn't know what this is or doesn't know why he got it, so he just ignores it for now. But he knows something bad happened. But he ignores it for now. When we do a time skip. We do a time skip of 2 hours later. Not Naruto. Itachi told Minato about his nephew's death, which Minato is fierce at. He's fierce at Danzo, seeing how Danzo went to get his Sharingan eye, and is just addicted with Sharingan, and decides to banish. Not banish, but kill Danzo, execute Danzo, which he tries to find Danzo, but just to find that Danzo left the village, knowing that if he stayed in the village that he would be executed. So he left the village to join with Orochimaru, since they still have their ties. So yeah, Naruto still doesn't know about this since Minato doesn't want him to know about it yet. So yeah, we go back to the academy. Naruto is in the seat. Naruto's in the seat, just laying down. And Naruto looks exactly like this, but just without the eye patch. So yeah, Naruto looks exactly like that. So yeah, he's laying down on his, putting his head on his desk, and is about to fall asleep until he hears the door slide open, and he looks up to see Suki and Iruka walk in. Naruto isn't surprised to see Suki or Iruka, and then so he puts his head back down. And then he feels somebody tap his shoulder, asking if she could sit right there. Naruto looks up to see Suki and pointing at the seat right next to him, which he obliges, saying that nobody will sit, right beside him, just because that he doesn't want anybody to sit beside him, which he has a lot of fangirls because he's with Uchiha and the fourth Hokage's son. So of course he's gonna have a lot of fangirls. So yeah, Naruto is just laying his head down, and then Iruka sees him not paying attention and yells out, "Naruto, what are all five chakra natures?" Naruto, not even looking up, still has his head down, says fire, lightning, wind, water, and earth. Which surprises Iruka, seeing how Naruto wasn't paying attention, but decides to stop asking questions on Naruto, seeing how he always gets them right, even though he isn't looking. So yeah, do a time skip. Naruto, we do a time skip of 4 years. Naruto is 12 years old, and the Uchiha Master never happens. Since Minato just stops it just because he's an Uchiha and doesn't want to claim to die. So yes, Naruto is about to get his Johnny Team Sensei, and then he calls out Team 7, Naruto, Uchiha, Sasuke, Suki, Uchiha, and Kiba and Azuka. Yes, Kiba is going to be on this Team 7. And then he says, your Johnny team leader, will be Kakashi Hatake. And they all nod and waits in the classroom. Then he calls out, teammate, Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara, Choji Akamichi. You'll be Team 8, and your Joint Team Sensei will be Kurenai Yuhi. Team 10. No. Oh, yeah, Team 10. No, I messed up. Team 7, Naruto Uchiha, Suki Uchiha, Kiba, and Azuka. Your team leader will be Kakashi. Joint team leader will be Kakashi. Team 8. I'll make Sakura a man in this timeline. Yes, Sakura's going to be a man. Sakura Haruno, Hinata Hyuga, Ashina Aburame. You're going to be Team 8. And your joining team leader will be Kurenai Yuhi. Team 10, Shikamaru Nara, Ino Yamanaka, and Choji Akamichi. You're Team 10. And your joining team leader will be Asuma Sarutobi. And last but not least, Team 13. Rock Lee, Neji Hyuga, and Tenten. Your Team 13 and your joining team leader will be Mike Guy. As Iruka says that he's greatly appreciated to teach these students and leaves. Hoping that y'all all become great ninjas. And then leaving. 2 hours passes and Team 7 still hasn't found the joint team leader, but everybody else does, and Naruto is getting annoyed. And by now he has the two Tomoe Sharingan. So yeah, he is 12 with the two Tomoe Sharingan, and he's annoyed. We're gonna do a check, like we're gonna see everybody's uses on this team. We're gonna start off with Kiba. All he has, and I'm gonna do a S to a F rank. Kiba has a D in Taijutsu, an F in Ninjutsu, since all he can do is Fang over Fang. No, he has a C in Ninjutsu, because Fang over Fang, and a D in Taijutsu. Genjutsu, he has an F in, and Kenjutsu is they don't go off of Kenjutsu since he doesn't have a sword. Then it's Suki. Suki, she has a C in Taijutsu, a B in Ninjutsu, and a C minus. A C minus in Genjutsu. And her jutsus are the fire style Uchiha style great fireball jutsu, fire style great fireball jutsu. She has fire style multiple fireball jutsus, and that's it. On Naruto, he's in B plus in Taijutsu, and A in Ninjutsu, and he has all A stats everywhere. So he has A in Ninjutsu, Taijutsu, Genjutsu, and Kenjutsu. But his strongest is Kenjutsu since he copied Kushina's Kenjutsu. His ninjutsus are Fire Style, Great Fireball Jutsu, Uchiha Style, Great Fireball Jutsu. He has Uchiha Style Halo Dance. He has Body Flicker. He has Chidori. He has the Rasengan. And he has an Ultimate Jutsu, which is the Rasen Chidori. Yeah, the Rasen Chidori, which he makes his Chidori in his left and a Rasengan in his right, combining those two aspects together, making a Rasen Chidori. Rasen Dori. So yeah, back to the story. Naruto is about to just leave until Kakashi walks through the door, and Naruto anger just sparks up seeing Kakashi, but he is surprised seeing how the person that taught him the Chidori is his sensei. So Kakashi just says, "Go up on, meet me at the roof," and he disappears. Naruto using body flicker, and Sasuke is just running, putting chakra on her feet and running. Kiba just has to walk, seeing how he doesn't know how to do any of those, so he just walks. Good time skip. 5 minutes later, they all are on the roof. Kiba being the last, Naruto being the second, Kakashi being the first, and Sasuke being the third. So yeah. Kakashi says, "Tell me your dreams, your goals, he says, "Tell me your dislikes, your likes, dream goals, and aspirations. And your names." And Kiba says that he's going to need demonstration. And Kakashi just says that his name is Kakashi Hatake. Or I could just call him Kakashi Sensei. His likes are none of your business. Dislikes are none of your business. And his goals are also none of your business. Kiba gets mad at this, saying that wasn't a good demonstration, and Naruto just tells Kiba to shut up and do it. Which Kiba just says, just growls at Naruto, and just says, "My name is Kiba Inuzuka. My likes are playing with Akamaru. My dislikes are Naruto, and my goal is to become Hokage." And yeah. Kakashi says good, and he says you, the female. So he says, "My name is Suki Uchiha. My goals are to become the clan head and the head of the Uchiha police force." To do that, her likes are training, and her dislikes are annoying people. Kakashi says, "Alright," and he points at Naruto. He says, "You, all black, go." Naruto just says, "My name is Naruto Uchiha." He says his dislike is being looked down upon and being referred as the Hokage's son. And then he says that he likes training, and he likes eating ramen, and he says his goal is to become the strongest ninja and become somewhat like Madara, but not like as strong as Madara, but not go down the wrong path. which Kakashi is. And he says his goal and his last goal is to stop the cycle of hatred, which Kakashi is surprised at, seeing how this kid knows about the cycle of hatred, but gives a nice smile, telling them to meet him at the training ground at 1 tomorrow and don't eat breakfast. As he disappears, and Naruto asks Suki if she wants to train with them, which Suki just nods, saying yes, and Kiba, since he likes Suki, he follows too. Naruto's wondering why he's following, but doesn't say anything. And yes, Suki is now developing. Well, she didn't like him at first, but she is now developing a crush on Naruto. Which Naruto, like, in his mind, like, if she was to ask him out, he'll, like, say sure. But he wouldn't be like, yes, please, yeah. But he would just say sure and wouldn't comment back on it. Alright, so back to the story. Naruto and Suki is in the training ground while Kiba is watching. Naruto gets annoyed getting a tick mark on his forehead and yelling out to Kiba, "Why are you here and just staring at us?" Kiba just says that he wanted to train too, and Naruto just said you could have just asked for it, and plus, you're not as strong as us, so there's no reason to train with us. Kiba taking offense to this, saying that, and says that you're just doing this just to impress Suki, which Naruto just chuckles, saying that I don't try to impress no one, I'm just trying to impress myself. And Kiba is saying that you're bluffing and fight me. Naruto decides, saying that last time you fought me, you got beat up and everything else like that. Kiba says that this will become a different outcome now, and presses at Naruto. Naruto, not even activating his Sharingan, kicks Kiba in the side, sending him into a tree, and then punching him in the gut, and then grabbing him by the collar and whispering in his ear, saying that if you do this again, that I will kill you. Which he doesn't really mean, but he just does it to intimidate people, which Kiba is scared by. And then Naruto lets go. Naruto just says, "Suki, are you ready to spar with me?" And she says, "Yes, sure." Naruto and Suki gets in a fighting position. Naruto taking out his sword, while Naruto takes out a katana, while Suki takes out a sword. And they both rush at each other. Both of them not activating their Sharingan, which Suki has a 1 Tomoe, which Naruto has a 2 Tomoe. But yeah, both of them not activating their Sharingan, and just decides to go at each other. Naruto rushes at Suki, and Suki is able to Naruto rushes at Suki, sending a kick at her. Try to swipe her feet away, but Suki is able to jump up in the sky and do a back handspring before landing on the ground, which Naruto is already in front of her, and she's trying to go for a slice. Suki, barely able to see this, blocks with her own sword and kicks Naruto in the gut before reading some hand signs saying fire style, great fireball jutsu. Naruto just says fire style, great fireball jutsu, and both attacks colliding and dispelling each other's. Naruto saying this but he uses body flicker to get right behind Suki, and kicks her in the back while using body flicker to get right in front of her and kicking her up in the sky. Before we reach some hand signs, same fire style, Phoenix Flower Jutsu, which Saki is able to recover, and with some hand signs of her own, saying Uchiha style, great fireball jutsu, destroying 3 of the fireballs, but the other 2 hit her, which burns her a little bit, but she gets back up. Then she activates her 1 Tomoe Sharingan, which Naruto still doesn't activate his 2 Tomoe, seeing it as not needed for now. And Suki decides to put some she puts chakra on her feet, but accidentally adds lightning chakra to it, making her have a bigger boost than original. Naruto, not expecting this, gets hit in the stomach, gets punched in the stomach, which Naruto is able to recover. He slides back and does a handspring, activating his Tutomori Sharingan, and looking at Sasuke. Suki tries to put Naruto on her genjutsu, but Naruto is easily able to break it, and decides to do something that might get Suki heavily injured, which is Uchiha style Hello Dance. But instead of putting the fire infinity inside of it, he puts lightning infinity inside of it. And he starts slashing the wind, making lightning slashes go at Suki. Suki's able to dodge 2 of them, but gets hit by the last 3, which puts her out of commission, and Naruto has his katana to her throat, saying give up. Which Suki gives up, and Naruto just picks her up, putting her on his back, and going home. Naruto drops her off at Fugaku's house, and then says that he'll catch you later. They'll catch up later when the bell test arrives, which they don't know about it yet, but they say that just the test arrives. The next day at 1 o'clock, Naruto wakes up saying that he'll eat breakfast no matter what, and decides to be late since he said it was late, so he decides to be late. Naruto eats breakfast, cooks and eats breakfast, and then decides to play video games for an hour straight, and then leaves and goes to the training ground. When he gets to the training ground, he sees that Kakashi Sensei hasn't arrived yet, and sees Suki and Kiba is just standing there. Naruto asks if they ate yet. Suki just says yes, but she waited at 1. She started to wait at 1 o'clock, while Kiba didn't eat and waited at 1 o'clock. Came here at 1 o'clock. Which Naruto just says that I knew it. Since he was already late the first time, I thought he was gonna be late again. So I came late and ate breakfast. An hour passed, and Kakashi finally arrives, seeing how Naruto is fully energetic, and the other two, well, Sasuke is energetic, but not as energetic as Naruto, and Kiba is hungry and tired. Alright, so back to the story. Kakashi just says that he'll put a timer, and the last one to get the bell will be sent back to the academy. And Kiba points out that there's only 2 bells, which Kakashi says, I know the one that doesn't get a bell will be sent back to the academy. Which all of them except Naruto and Suki gets, well, Kiba is the only one to get scared about, but Suki and Naruto isn't really all that scared, seeing how Kiba is the weakest out of the team, and they know that those two can get the bells easily. So Kakashi says start with everybody rushing into the trees. Naruto just thinks of a plan instantly, seeing how he's a genius, so he decides to leave, go home and get a timer, and so yeah. He gets a timer and replaces it with Kakashi's timer. When he does this, he makes the timer set for 30 minutes, and he decides to fight Kakashi, making it feel like 2 hours has passed. Making it feel like 2 hours has passed. And so yeah, Naruto jumps out of the trees and says that he will be fighting for now. Kakashi looks up, seeing Naruto, and then looks back down at his book until putting it up, knowing how strong Naruto is. Naruto has his Tutomori activated and decides to rush at Kakashi, which Kakashi blocks without his showing. And so yeah, Kakashi blocks, but he feels the pressure behind that kid condo. So he decides to take this a little bit more seriously and decides to get in an actual fighting stance. Naruto rushes at Kakashi again, but Kakashi is easily able to maneuver around Naruto, kick him in the back, and sending Naruto into a tree. And Naruto is in the air, Naruto is in the air right now. And then read some hand signs before saying Fire Style, Phoenix Fire Jutsu, and then throwing the Phoenix Fires at Kakashi. Kakashi sees this and reads some hand signs of his own, saying Water Style, Water Wall, creating a water wall, dispelling all of the fireballs. But Naruto used the steam to his advantage and tries to activate Chidori and stab Kakashi. But Kakashi could easily see the blue lightning and hears can easily hear the 1,000 birds chirping and easily sees the blue lightning coming at him. So he jumps up in the air, saying that. Then reads some hand signs saying Fire Style, Fire Style, Fireball, Jutsu, and blasting at Naruto, which Naruto reads some hand signs of his own, deactivating his Chidori, and reads some hand signs saying Fire Style, Uchiha Style, Great Fireball, Jutsu, colliding with Kakashi Fireball and dispelling it. Naruto then puts Lightning Style in his sword and starts using Body Flicker while saying Uchiha Style Hello Dance, creating lightning slashes at Kakashi. Kakashi only gets hit by one of them and then regains his composure, and as soon as Naruto is about to get one of the bells, Kakashi substitutes out of there and the fate timer goes off. The timer goes off and Kakashi ties Kiba around the stump. So, Kiba's around the stump, and then Naruto, before Kakashi disappears, Naruto asks Kakashi if he could see the bell right quick. Kakashi passes Naruto the bells and asks him what does he want with this, and then Naruto just chuckles, saying that he passed. Kakashi is confused by what does he mean, and then the second timer finally goes off. Kakashi just realized that he got played by Naruto, and Naruto got both bells now. So then he asks Naruto, what is he gonna do with the bells? Naruto just says that he doesn't know yet, and decides and cuts one of the bells in half, giving it to Kiba while he cut one bell in half, giving one side to Kiba while he takes that one side and then gives a full bell to Suki, and says that they pass since they all have a bell, and you didn't specifically say that you need the full of a bell, which Kakashi just smiles, saying that they pass. And giving the best quote ever, those who fail the mission are scums, but those who abandon their friends are worse than scums. So yeah. Naruto then says when will they start the missions, and Kakashi says that they'll be starting tomorrow, and they all go home. Naruto goes home, and then he sees his father go home too. Then he decides to ask his dad a question. He asks his dad if he could be taught the Flying Raijin, which Minato hesitantly decides to teach him it, and decides to teach Naruto the Flying Raijin. We do a time skip to the Zabuza mission, and Naruto can do the Flying Raijin, but at the second Hokage's version. So yeah, and it's been a month. So Naruto has the second Hokage's version of the Flying Raijin. So they go on the Zabuza mission. Naruto is talking to Naruto is talking to Suki while is talking to Kakashi. Tazuna asks who is the boy and the girl, and not Naruto. Kakashi just says the boy in the all black is Naruto Uchiha, the son of the fourth Hokage, and Suki is the daughter of the clan head of the Uchiha clan, which Tazuna is surprised at and says that some actual good ninja would be protecting him, and doesn't decide on asking something about Kiba since he's a dog. Since Kiba just doesn't look strong until a puddle comes up. Everybody except Tazuna and Kiba notices this puddle, and Naruto, he takes his katana out saying, "Suki, can you hold this for me?" Pretending like he didn't see the water puddle, and then Suki, as soon as Suki touches the blade about to grab it, Naruto reads some hand signs, activating his Chidori and stabbing the Chunin brothers, electrocuting the water, making the Chunin brother come out. The Chunin brothers are actually shocking because they got struck by the lightning blade, and Naruto decides to pierce both of them in the shoulders, making their right arm useless, and then deciding to throw some ninja wire around them, tying them to a tree, and asks why are they here, what are they doing, and who sent them. The Chunin brothers doesn't talk until Naruto activates his Tutomori Sharingan and activates his Chidori, which the Chunin brothers start talking. He tells everything about how Gato hired Zabuza Momochi and a compass with an Ambu mask, and how Gato hired them to kill Tazuna. Kakashi is about to take him back on the mission until he sees Naruto just keep walking forward, and he asks Naruto what's he doing. Naruto just says that there's no way he's getting out of this mission because it's already too good. Kakashi just sighs and telling them that if anybody above Johnny level or somebody Johnny level or higher comes, then that they will need to stay back, which they're all obliged to. And that's it. Naruto goes on the boat. They start rowing. When they get to the waves, taking the faster way. When they get back on land, some mist starts to roll in. Naruto sees this thick, heavy mist and knows that this isn't ordinary mist. So he activates his Tutomori Sharingan, seeing a sword coming at their head, and he tells everybody to duck, which they all do, and Naruto has to grab Tazuna and pull him down so Tazuna doesn't die. As the sword lands in the tree, Zabuza appears on top of the sword, saying that he wants to fight Kakashi and just to give up. Says to give up the bridge builder, and nobody will have to die. And then, as soon as he sees Kakashi, he says that never mind, that he wants to fight the legendary Copy Ninja Kakashi. As Kakashi lifts up his headband, showing his Sharingan, shocking Kiba since Naruto he didn't know about it, but he felt when he used his Sharingan, he felt chakra going inside of his eye, as Suki did too. So they wasn't surprised when they saw it, but they were kind of shocked seeing that it was a Sharingan. So yeah, back to the story. Naruto is chilling and Kakashi tells them to stay back. Naruto obliges but hesitantly, and then Kakashi and Zabuza have their original sparring cannon, but when Kakashi gets trapped in the water prison, Naruto decides to be a goo. Naruto just decides to use a Chidori and rushes at Zabuza. Zabuza, seeing how this will kill him if he actually gets hit by this, decides to take his arm out of the water prison and release Kakashi. Naruto gets back on land, and then Kakashi thinks Naruto just has no problem too. And Kakashi just bodies Zabuza like a cannon, but in this timeline, when Haku sees that Zabuza is about to die and throws Senbon at his neck. Kakashi doesn't care and decides to try to kill Zabuza anyways. When Haku sees that Zabuza just got pierced in the heart by a lightning blade, she goes berserk and starts creating as many ice mirrors as she can and throwing Senbon at all of them. The only person that isn't trapped in the ice mirrors is Kiba, and Kiba sees how dangerous this is, so he decides just to stay out of it. So yeah, Naruto Satsuki is getting bombarded by Senbon, but not Naruto. But Naruto could see them and dodge, but Suki, with her 1-to-more Sharingan, is still getting hit. Naruto sees that Suki won't last long until he sees a Senbon go into Suki's neck. This is the same spot where she threw it at Zabuza, making Suki go into a death-like state. When Naruto sees this, his eyes widen in shock and horror as he activates his 3 Tomoe Sharingan. And this will be where I'll be ending this video off. And heads up, I probably will give him the Mangekyo during the Force of Death, cause I'm thinking about making something happen. I'm thinking about making something happen in the Force of Death. So yeah, that's it. Peace.